What do I want? It's a question that everyone eventually has to ask themselves. The key motivator for every action taken. The cause behind every effect. So, what do I want? I want to go to a sporting event in every major venue. I want to grow within my relationships with my friends and my family. I want the freedom to create without the fear of failure. I want to dream without being hindered by reality. I want to chase new passions, new experiences, and new goals. I want OldMilk to branch out of the box and try new things. I'm accomplishing some of these goals right now, and I know what I need to do to achieve the rest of them. However, the one thing you should take away from this commercial is, I want you to buy OldMilk merch. The one thing that was apparent throughout the series was the lack of a playmaker for the Celtics. Played really good defensively. The most that Golden State scored in the whole series was 108 points. And you have Steph Curry, you have Klay Thompson, you have Jordan Poole, you have Andrew Wiggins. There's so many players who are capable of going off for 20, if not more. And the highest that they score is 108. That's an accomplishment. But on the other side of that, what I keep telling the chat is that sure, defense matters, but it doesn't matter if you can't score. So
right.
That being said, and the reason why they're not able to score is because they keep giving the ball to the other team constantly. It's not a matter of them not having the ability to make shots. It's just they're not getting good shots in the first place. So I think if you put a playmaker in there, I don't know who. I guess the most realistic scenario would be John Wall. But if you put someone in there who can get everybody else their shots, Tatum doesn't have to worry about that anymore. Jaylen Brown doesn't have to worry about creating for other players anymore. They can just both go out and score. I think that the Celtics come back. I think the Celtics have a great chance to come back. I don't think the window's closed. That's what I'll say.
I think, the window's not even close to close. They're 20, like their best players are 24 and 25. Like the people being like, oh, they're never come. I'm like, okay.
I think people have, they're comparing it to Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
Where like we thought they would be back consistently and we thought they'd win wings, but at the same time, they never.
Right, but they traded
for obvious reasons. Yeah.
They moved the piece right after that finals. It's not like no one on the Celtics, except for like Smart, is really, tradable like that. What I think is, even if that playmaker that you're talking about comes off the bench, it's just at some point, Tatum and Brown need to be able to take a break from leading that pick and roll up top. Because even when Smart does it, Tatum's the screener or Jalen's the screener, which, you have to be a screener. It's not like you can get out of that, but it's just someone to take that pressure off them, at least for a couple minutes. Because you could see that Smart and Tatum just doing pick and roll after pick and roll after pick and roll. There's a fatigue that sets in, and those bad passes are like really bad.
Yeah. Tatum has to, in the paint, he has to go up strong. He has to, but even if you're tired, there's a way to seek out contact. And it's one of those things that it's almost an art where if it's obvious that you're doing it for the call, you're not going to get it. But if you're able to make it seem like I think refs can tell the difference between a player seeking out contact to score versus seeking out contact to get a call.
Right.
And I think it was apparent the whole series that Tatum was seeking out contact to get to the foul line. And when he got to the foul line, sometimes he didn't make it, which was also another concern.
He was just out of his game. He was going to the rim like he did his first two seasons in the league, where he was trying to get around people because he's like just like how he's like built into his like bag or whatever. Like he can do those layups around guys, but it's like in year 3 and year 4, like the games he's had 50 and 60, he gets 20 free throws. It's not, you know what I mean? It's and it's because he's doing the hardened, like where you like bring the ball real low and then come up through the arms. And it's not like, the game plan was just like very clear. It's like, you don't need to foul Jalen and Tatum. Just slap the ball. Like even the like smallest disturbance on the ball is gonna like, they're not going to be able to hold on to it, which it'll change. Like I said, they're 24 and 25. They're our age and a year older.
They need to invest in one of these things.
Exactly.
That's
Get
what
the
they
grip
need to
strength
do.
up.
Get that grip. Because I've never seen a group of players not be able to hold on to the ball like the Celtics.
No, it's
And
pretty wild.
yeah, and another thing too that I noticed is they would get into the bonus like 7 minutes and they would not take advantage of it at all, which I
No.
guess comes down to basketball IQ or maybe fatigue as well. But the Celtics had every chance to win that series. Is
Oh yeah.
basically the what I'm coming away with that with. But
Absolutely. But hey, what happened like 14 minutes after the game ended? All was restored.
look at the segue. Yes, we have Drake. Hello everybody. This is episode 309 of the Cat Podcast. I almost said the other podcast name again. Thank you for watching on YouTube, listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all the other DSPs. We have 3 holidays today. First holiday, most important holiday, at least I think, Juneteenth. Round of applause for Juneteenth. Also, round of applause for all the fathers celebrating Father's Day out there. And another holiday, which nobody knows. I didn't know until 5 minutes ago, but it is Taylor's birthday today. Happy birthday, Taylor. Big 24, trying to be like Kobe, just like his man, Jason Tatum. Taylor, how you doing today? How's your birthday going so far?
Good. Being in Warriors country when the Celtics lost the finals to the Warriors, not fun. I haven't really been outside like that in a couple days. Like seeing the flags and stuff and people like whatever. Like I went into a store 2 days ago and the woman behind the counter was making small talk, and I said I was from Massachusetts. She's like, "Oh," I was like, "What does that mean?" She's like, were you rooting for them?" And I was like, "Yeah."
For them.
And she like tried to make me feel better about it, and then she started saying Stephen Curry, and I just left.
Oh no.
She's like, "That's Stephen Curry." I was like, "Yeah."
Okay,
yeah.
okay, miss. It's that's someone who watches Stephen Colbert. I can tell you that. That's or First Take.
Yeah, it was like Stephen and Seth Curry, the brothers.
Yuck. In the has it been 48 hours since the Golden State Warriors have won the championship? We've had a Drake album come out, and we've had Warriors fans try to erase the legacy of Tim Duncan, which is also weird. So
and Kevin Durant. This is the only. Did you know that the 2022 Warriors are the only basketball team that's ever existed? Did you know that?
They are.
Yeah. No, that's crazy.
It's for sure. They play themselves. They're like
facts.
They're like the Harlem Globetrotters and the Washington Generals, whoever I guess they'd be playing the Bobcats every year.
I agree. The Celtics were hired actors.
I mean, the way they were giving the ball away, they might as well have been.
That's what I'm saying.
But as Taylor alluded to, we do have a project to talk to you about. First, follow OldMilk on Instagram and Twitter on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at OldMilk Media. Like and subscribe to the channel at some point. Check out the OldMilk Spins playlist on Spotify and YouTube, and check out all the OldMilk content on oldmilk.co. We have Drake. Honestly, I was not expecting to have to talk about Drake this soon because what was it, September that he released Certified Lover Boy, and he's back within the span of less of a year with another project. Honestly, Nevermind. Probably should have said that when he was thinking about releasing Certified Lover Boy, but that's beyond the point. 14 tracks, 52 minutes long, featuring the GOAT, Young Savage, 21 Savage, the one who traps so hard. He's already additionally, Drake is already teasing another Scary Hours EP. That being said, Taylor, what were your initial thoughts on your favorite artist of all time?
All right. No. So first listen was interesting because Celtics lost. I was in a bad place. Started, pouring cups of the rosé. We were elevating. We were elevating, and from like the album cover and like the track list he released, I thought we were getting like Mob Boss Drake. I thought we were getting like sitting in the back of the Rolls Royce, like calling shots Drake. And then I started to see some rumblings about like Dance Album, and I was like, all right, we've been told it's going to be something different a bunch of times, but it's always like you get like the 3 or 4. So first listen through, I was like waiting for that song. And then you get to the 21 track and it's like, all right, they gave it to us, but it's the last one. So like I said about second listen was way more important for me this time, knowing what I was going to get. And honestly, I love this album. I've been playing it nonstop pretty much since it came out. And it's not like CLB, I can, because of like just being a Drake fan, I can go listen to that all the time too. And it's like, that's a Drake album for Drake fans. And not to say this one isn't, but I love this project. I've been playing it a lot, and it's not like I'm an authority on house music or even really like that well versed in it. So I'm not gonna be like, oh yeah, this is great house elements. I just like the music. It's enjoyable. I think some of the songs feel a little put together in a shorter manner than some of the other ones, but yeah, overall, like general thoughts, I'm definitely like I really like this.
Yeah, no, second listen for this album is very important. I was just doing it before we started the show, and one of my favorite. It's definitely one of. I didn't expect this from Drake at all. Let me say that he finally took a risk. Round of applause for artists taking risks. Because the issue with certified, I think the issue with Certified Lover Boy was that it was too safe. And aside from Knife Talk, as I've said this before when I've talked about it before, and I don't know if I've written about it, but I've said it before. Like other than Knife Talk, there is not one song on Certified Lover Boy that I want to listen to again. That being said, with honestly Nevermind, I think that this is a significant jump in quality and just overall artistry from Drake compared to Certified Lover Boy. I love the fact that it's Jersey Club, a little electronic, sometimes a little R&B-ish. I do have my issues with the project though. We'll get to those later, but overall, I do appreciate the fact that Drake is taking a chance and it's splitting the timeline in half as far as I've seen so far. But you have people belittling people because they're like, oh, just because you listen to hip hop does it, and it's like,
Yeah.
I don't really know what to say to that. But good album, might be great album. Still have to listen to it some more. But the more I listen
Yeah.
to it, the more I enjoy it. The production on it just throughout is amazing. There isn't a beat on here that I don't like. There isn't
No,
a beat
same.
on here that I tolerate. I like them all. The second half of, and we'll probably get to this too. The second half of Jimmy Cooks, when 21 Savage comes on, is probably. I'm a hip hop guy. We're both hip hop guys. The best beat on the album.
Yo,
I'm just
I
gonna
wish
say it.
21 I wish 21 had been able to get in the first half though.
Yeah, I mean, if 20, I mean, we've seen 21 grow since 2016. So if he's able to do that, it's something that would still be surprising. I think any hip hop artist attempting this would be surprising in the first place,
Yeah.
but it's not something that I would say is out of his realm to do.
No.
So
No.
that would have been interesting. 21 Savage on Sticky would have been nice because that's the
Yeah.
only other track that's reminiscent of hip hop at all.
Yeah.
But good album. I think that the issue. Let me get to the issues. The issue I have with this album is I think some of the lyrics that Drake is singing is just weird. I just can't get on board with it with singing along to "You're Dealing with Me Rough." I can't. I just can't do that.
Oh, see, you're selling yourself short, Nate. That's
I can't relate to that. Additionally, on falling back on, I think that he also kind of tries to make it catchier than it is. Like on falling back on me, on he keeps repeating falling back on me so many times, and it's like,
yeah, I skipped
okay,
that one.
you can just stop and we can just enjoy the music.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
That's
think
that's a skip for me.
yeah,
Like I know it has a music video. I know it has the little star next to it on Apple because it's one of the first three. The star feels like it means something, but really it's just like this is the ones people play the most, and of course the first ones are going to get the most play. But I don't know about. I mean, Drake is not singing like 21, 22, 23-year-old Drake when he first came in, when that was his, like he was the guy who could rap and he could sing. He's not singing like that anymore. Someone on Twitter said it was because of too much hookah, but I don't, I'm not one to judge. It's interesting with this. There's no like major issue I have with this, mostly because I'm way beyond the point of like the dialogue whenever Drake does anything, music, whatever, is just so exhausting at this point where he puts something out and immediately people are like, yo, this is the greatest thing ever. And immediately people are like, oh, this is horrible. This is the worst thing I've ever heard. And so it's just like, I feel like I don't even really nitpick like that anymore because it's like, talking to you or talking to someone for real is different, but like in terms of the broader scope, no points of any nuance matter really. No. It's just like I like this or I don't. But the issue that if I had to be like, all right, this is my issue, I think some of the songs just feel rushed.
Yeah.
And like you said, that's where some of the lyrics come in. Where some lines, or even like some of the where he's kind of just like singing, it feels like it's definitely just him freestyling. And like, sure, like, is he talented enough to do that? Yeah. But some of it, I'm like, that's not for me. I like very calculated Drake, even if he's not like really like, getting into the bars and everything. Like, I like it when there's a clear direction with his music, which is why like the first half of the album, it skips every song for me. So like, I like the intro a lot, even though it's short. I like Text Go Green a lot. Including
so she's dealing with you rough.
Nah, I'm happy. I'm living good. I like Keeper. I like Sticky. Whichever one is about chasing sunsets in California.
That's a nice
one.
Like
I like that one.
That's a good one.
And yeah, the back half kind of gets a little like, of course we get a project from Drake that's finally just 14 songs. Mm-hmm. Finally, the one we've all been asking for. Not all.
We gotta stop talking about. We gotta stop talking about length before the nigga comes out and be like, deluxe.
I know. Well,
6 more.
Yeah. No, that's what's scary. That's what's scary. I was gonna be. It's gonna be like, oh, it's puzzle pieces, man. And it's always breathing and living. I'm friends with Kanye again.
Do you get it now?
Yeah, exactly. This is of course he gives us a 14 song one, not 20, not 22. And I'm like, I wish it was 10. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, mm-hmm. It's just so nice. Like, people always complain about, oh, like Drake, we got Island Drake, we got Canadian Drake, we got Houston Drake, all in the same project sometimes. This one is all like focused in a single direction. And it's like, it's such a breath of fresh air in that way that I almost wish it was just like a tight 10. Like, here are the best ones. Like, I cut some of these, but the music is good enough where I want to hear all of it. So
yeah, I'm glad that you brought up the singing. I think that both of my favorite tracks, Sticky and Jimmy Cooks, Drake is rapping on, and sometimes he's trying to get into a note that is just so clear that he does not have, and it's like, I don't know. I think it's just I feel like some of the beats, I would have enjoyed the songs more if Drake probably had some features to get to those notes that he was trying to get to himself.
Yeah.
But the other thing I do want to talk about is, as you said, how this whole album is more focused. This is probably the most cohesive project from Drake that I can remember, definitely in a while. I don't want to say
it's this, or if you're reading this is too late.
Yeah, I was trying to debate if you're reading this is too late was the last real cohesive project we got from Drake. Because I'm thinking about Views, and Views was a bit of different sounds. And
yeah, I think streaming.
Yeah, I think if you're reading this is too late was probably the last cohesive album we've gotten from Drake since this one. And cohesion matters, and this proves it. This is the reason why. This is a example of it mattering, because if he gave us like 5 of these club songs and went back to do that Certified Lover Boy shit, I would hate the album. Right. But the fact that we have to adjust our ears to listening to Drake on these beats, and towards the end you actually start enjoying it, and then through the second listen, when you already know what to expect, you're already enjoying it from the start, is very important for replay value. And overall, I did not have any hopes for this album at all, but Drake really showed up and really established himself as an artist in 2022 versus someone who's just making music for whatever reason. Like, there was intention behind this album, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, it was being. That's a good way to put it. It was being Drake the artist and not so much Drake the character. Mm-hmm. CLB was like, oh, at 2021 version of Drake, this is what he is. And it's like, all right, I'm gonna give you the album that is, I mean, like, people have said it before that Drake is like Aubrey Graham's best acting job. Mm-hmm. And that was an album that felt, even though you could feel his like you could feel like there's hints of other albums in there and stuff, and there's hints of his like musicality and his talent, and there's little moments where it feels like it's just him and 40, or it feels like it's just him and the producer and like whatever. But this whole project feels a little bit more like, all right, we're making music in a real way, and not so much we're making music because we're supposed to. It's like, no, we're making music because we're good at what we do. Like the whole team is good at, you know what I mean? So I think this is almost what the second half, with a couple exceptions, the second half of Scorpion was supposed to be. But one thing that's like, and like I said, I'm not an authority on house music. The people who like heard this and were like, oh, that's EDM, or they're like, oh, Island Drake is back. I'm like,
no,
this isn't even close to that.
no, he's
Like,
not even doing an accent.
no,
Like how you
like
like,
he's just
like you
doing it.
usually could tell based on how he's trying to rap. It's like, oh, he's look at UK drill Drake over there. Got
I
the
know.
little color instead of color and shit.
I don't do things for resale. Don't do iCloud. Don't do email.
Like,
like I just don't like. I'm not gonna try to gatekeep Drake. He's not an artist you can gatekeep. He's the biggest artist we have. With like it's a good album. Like that's it feels so nice to just be like, yeah, the music's good. It doesn't have a ton of stuff like associated with it. There isn't this beef with Kanye, and there isn't this like Dark Lane demo tapes came out right when the pandemic hit, right? So it's like, and then Tusi sliders with it. So it's like there's always something attached. This one was just, here this is. And it's similar to how If You're Reading This came out, but that one was a short film the night before, and then the mixtape the day after. This one was just like, I have an album coming out in five hours.
Yeah.
Like Game 6 of the NBA Finals is tonight. And I was expecting like, if it was like a more, like rap album, I was fully expecting somehow like a Stephen Curry Warriors bar, like somehow already, like I thought he was like, like feeling himself from his house league championship and being like, all right, let me be the first rapper to weave in a Steph Curry championship or a Golden State Warriors championship bar, like 4 hours after the game. You know what I mean? Like, but it's refreshing to just have a good album. And it's not a hip hop album. It's not supposed to be billed as that. It isn't billed as that. I mean, with the exception of the last song, it's not that, and it's not categorized as that. And it's just, it seems redundant to say it. It's a breath of fresh air just to have an album to listen to for the music and not everything else.
Yeah. Are you concerned with, as I mentioned before, he's teasing another EP, Scary Hours. Are you concerned with Drake seemingly increasing the amount that he puts out music, or the speed that he puts out music?
No, it's not really increasing. Like the last 2 years have been interesting. Since Scorpion, things have slowed down a little, but it used to be like this all the time. And there's something to be said, like, all right, it's not like he's 25-year-old Drake coming for the throne anymore. You know what I mean? It's like, so it gets a little bit different. And I think that's why some people don't find him relatable anymore. Like the hunger that we got used to for a while, even when we were in middle and high school, and people were like, oh, Drake cries on songs, I'm never listening to him. Like when he would like snap, there was still the, oh, all right. Like, you know what I mean? So if Scary Hours 3, if it comes out, when it comes out, is like Scary Hours 2, that would be a little bit disappointing.
Yeah.
Because Scary Hours 1
I
was
don't
God's
really remember
Plan.
Scary Hours 2.
That was
it was Lemon Pepper freestyle on it.
The Lil
There was
Baby
a song with Lil Baby. Yeah, the only song that, it was 3 songs. I think we're forgetting the second one. I think the other song had 2 Chainz on it. If I'm not mistaken.
No,
it had was it just him?
It was Wants and Needs, Lemon Pepper. Yeah.
What's Next?
And What's Next? That was it. Yeah.
They played that song into the ground.
Right. And they just played exactly.
They played that shit to the ground. That shit is,
if it's like that where it feels like the most Drake version of let me get these streams, I know I'm gonna occupy 1, 2, and 3 on the chart because I'm Drake. That feels more like playing into the I'm Drake. You know what I mean? Which is great. And that's given us a lot of enjoyable music. But at the same time, if it's like one where it has like, I mean, that was God's plan, so that was a huge song. But then it like Diplomatic Immunity, where it's more just like him rapping. There's not so much of a this is what I'm supposed to be doing. It's no, I've been doing this a long time, and I'm really like, no matter what Twitter says, no matter what the chat says, like I'm good at this. And that's what I want. If it isn't that, but at the same time too, it's like he's 35. Like I'm not waiting on every album like I'm still excited like I used to be, but it's like the whole like legacy thing, when you get invested in artists and you're like, all right, every album is this ladder, it's like feels like he's at the end of the ladder, right?
Yeah.
Like what's he gonna, is he gonna give us a 444?
He might need to. I mean, if he's still on this album talking about "You're Dealing with Me Rough" and all these other shit, it might be a decade before he's capable.
Well, and that's the thing, and like Jay-Z put that out at like 50, and Drake's still like 35. So it's like, it's like there's a lot to happen, and I just don't know if Scary Hours 3 is like Scary Hours 2, and it feels like we're on the same path, then it could be a little disappointing, especially if it comes, back to back with this. But if it's another thing where it's like, hey, I'm a multifaceted artist, I can get in this bag and like stay in it and then switch over, then whatever.
Yeah, I agree. Favorite songs?
Text Go Green, Keeper, Sticky, Flights Booked, and then Jimmy Cooks.
I was debating on whether or not I wanted to put Flights Booked in here, but it's definitely one of my favorite. It's one of the more favorited tracks, but it didn't make the list. I got Sticky, Massive, Overdrive, and Jimmy Cooks. Jimmy Cooks is a contender for Song of the Year, possibly really Song of the Summer, because it didn't look like we were going to get a Song of the Summer type year. It just seemed like everybody would listen to what they wanted to listen to, but Jimmy Cooks is probably a contender for that. The second half of the album is definitely better than the first half, though. But I feel like I say that with every album, which I guess artists are catching on to. My real fans are gonna listen to this full album, so let me put everything. Let me put all my good shit where only my real fans are gonna hear it, and not where the casuals will. So I guess
you just load the first half with the stuff that's gonna go on the streams, and then you put the real stuff in the back. You know what I mean? It's like, it's like, because like I said, with how the Apple Music thing works, it's like, of course, the first 3 or 4 songs are always going to be the hits, because those are just the first 4 that people listen to. And if they keep listening past that or not, like the stream numbers are still there. Like
I think the main lesson behind this is listen to the full album and not the ones with the most not the tracks with the most streams. Because then
the intro is 37 seconds.
Yeah,
the intro is 37 seconds.
I like the intro too. Like I do too, but the instrumental of it. But if the intro is top 50 on the Billboard charts, that says a lot. That says a lot about how people listen to music.
Right.
Because there's not a vocal on it at all.
If it's a real song, it's a real song. But this one, it's just 37 seconds.
Yeah, it's just an interlude.
Yeah,
Morgan Freeman isn't even on it.
I know. I also liked a couple. I liked a couple of the little little Sonic things they did. For some reason, I think the file is like messed up on my computer, because when I listen to it through my computer in the headphones, the first half sounds horribly distorted. I don't know why. The second half's fine, but when I play it off my phone, it doesn't happen. So but there's little parts where, like, from the intro into Falling Back, I really like that abrupt switch over. And then I think in the third verse of Sticky, he says, if I get an escort, it's a police one. And then you get like the sirens for like 4 seconds, and then it's an abrupt cutoff. It's like the little like fun stuff like that. And Black Coffee being a part of this obviously is huge. And it's like, I know 40 put out a little video of them like all working, and this project just felt a little more like a smaller team was dealing with it.
Yeah,
it was more insular and not so. CLB felt really big. Like there were a bunch of producers on it, a bunch of features. Like it felt really, really big. And there's little moments where, like something like Yeba's Heartbreak Off, that stands out to me. And it's almost because it wasn't Drake, because it's a different world. It's not this like like
super commercialized,
or like
super
Drake's cinematic
machine.
universe.
Yeah. Oh no.
You know what I mean?
Don't
No,
do
but
that.
like
no, I get
you know
you.
what I'm saying. Yeah. Like I don't mean it for real, but like in terms of
no.
explaining it, it's like you're in this world that he's built over this time, especially like the last 5 years.
Yeah. Production was great throughout the whole album. I also, yeah, just a good album. I recommend it. 7.5 out of 10. We'll recommend.
Yeah.
We'll recommend to my friends. But this is episode 309 of the Cat Podcast. That is Taylor McLeod. That is birthday boy Taylor McLeod over there. Excuse me. Happy birthday once again to Taylor. And I am Nate Sperling. Thank you for watching. Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at Old Milk Media. Check out the Old Milk Spins playlist on Spotify and YouTube. And check out all the Old Milk content on oldmilk.co. We will be back when hip hop tells us to be. Oh, also another thing, Joey Badass, you ain't slick. I think you knew that Drake was gonna come out, and you were like, "All right, let me get the fuck out the way," which is smart, but you ain't have to say it was a sample clearance. Is all I'm saying.
He had the perfect tweet too, when he was like, "I see y'all saying that I didn't drop because Drake was dropping. Like, all right," and he was like denying it. And he's like, "But I can't say I'm not happy though."
So he's claiming that he's gonna drop in the next 2 weeks. So I guess we'll have to see. I'm excited. I'm excited to hear the.
I'll see you in 2024.
2020. Is it 2099?
No, I think it's just 2000.
It's just 2000. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm excited for that. But that being said, we'll be back when hip hop tells us to be. Thank you for watching. Bye.